Hello students, welcome to Zoology Classroom. In today's class, we are going to know about conduction of nerve impulse. In the previous class, we have seen how the nerve impulse or the action potential is generated. In that video, in that class, we have seen that action potential will be initiated on the dendrites or in some cases on telodendrites also. Nerve impulse or action potential may be generated. And what is the process in generating action potential inside the cytoplasm of these neurons? We have seen the details in the previous class. So, how this generated action potential is conducted or transmitted or sent to the neighboring neurons. So, how this generated nerve impulse or action potential is propagated through this neuron to the neighboring neurons. So let us know about this thing in today's class. So as I have already told, the action potentials will be generated on these dendrites, and all those action potentials, they will be summed up in this axon hillock region. And at this axon hillock region, so in this diagram, we can see that in the first one, so this is the soma, and this is the axon region. And as we have seen in the previous video, outside of this axon will be having more positive charge. Inside of this neuron will be having more negative charge. So at this axon hillock region, all the positive ions, they will be summed up, and this area, the axon hillock area, reaches this threshold limit. So once this region reaches to this threshold limit or threshold value, then automatically the sodium gates which are present on this neurilemma or plasma membrane will be opened, and through the open gates, sodium ions will enter into this thing. So as the sodium ions enter into this thing, here in this region, the negative charge will be converted into positive charge. And these positive charge ions, due to attractive nature, they will pull these negative ions towards them. At the same time, these negative ions also, they will pull these positive ions towards them. So in this way, positive charge will be transferred to this neighboring area. So this positive area, we can see this thing in this second diagram. So this earlier it was negative, it was having negative charge, but later due to this electromagnetic forces or coupling and repulsion forces, these negative charges, they will pull these positive charges towards them, so that the negative one becomes positive thing. At the same time, on the outside also, positive ions will be attracted towards this region, and inside these positive ions will be attracted towards this region, so that this positive charge will be transferred to the neighboring regions. So like this, the total throughout the length of this axon, all these positive charge will be traveling alternately one after another. So in this way, the positive charge condition will be propagated throughout the length of this neuron. So this is how this nerve impulse is propagated throughout the axon. So once the nerve impulse reaches this telodendrites, again from telodendrites, the nerve impulse will be sent to the next neurons with the help of synapses. So to explain this, how this nerve impulse is propagated through this axon, to explain this thing, two theories have been proposed. One is local circuit theory. Another one is saltatory conduction theory. First of all, let us know about local circuit theory. So local circuit theory has been proposed to explain the conduction of nerve impulse in non-myelinated neurons. So local circuit theory has been proposed by the scientists to explain the nerve impulse conduction in non-myelinated neurons. So in this neurons, myelin sheath is not there. So that's why they are called as non-myelinated neurons. As I've already told, what is happening in this soma or in the neuron body, neuron cell body. So in the cell body, due to this uh, stimuli, what is happening? Nerve impulse will be generated. So the generated nerve impulse will be finally it will reach this axon hillock region. So the axon hillock region, once it reaches this, once it crosses the threshold limit, automatically the sodium gates which are present on this neurolemma will be opened. Sodium ions will enter into this thing. So what is happening here? Inside now, earlier it was having negative charge, but now due to the entry of sodium ions, this is becoming positively charged. So, and outside will be having negative charge. So in this way, inner side it is becoming positive charge, outer side it is becoming negatively charged. So due to this attraction forces, the positive ions which are present on the outside of this neuron, so the neighboring areas are having positively charges outside, and the neighboring area inside is having negative charges. So throughout the outside, total outside region will be having, neighboring regions will be having positive charge, and this region is having negative charge on the outside. So inside, it is having negative charge in the neighboring region. So these positively charged ions will be pulled towards this negatively charged region, so that all the sodium ions will be attracted to this region. And the sodium ions which are present on this region, they will be attracted towards this region. So that's why immediately next what is happening, we can see what happens next in this second diagram. So the sodium ions will be attracted to this neighboring region, and on the outside the sodium ions will be attracted towards this first region, so that the charges again they will be changed in this neighboring region. So this is creating a local circuit, we can say that local circuit. So sodium ions are circulating in a cyclic manner, so these are called as local circuits. So here one circuit was formed, and next what is happening, this second region, from the second region, the sodium ions again they will be attracted by this next third region, so that it is creating another second current, second local circuit. So in this way, many local circuits will be generated one after another throughout the length of this axon. So that's why many local circuits will be created. So by the creation of these local circuits, the action potential or nerve impulse will be propagated from this axon hillock region to this total. Finally, it reaches this terminal or telodendrite. So in this way, in the form of local circuits, the action potential or nerve impulse will be traveled to this end part of this neuron. So this is about local circuit theory, and local circuit theory explains how the nerve impulse is transmitted throughout the length of this axon, and how it is transferred to this telodendrites region in non-myelinated neurons. And coming to second theory, saltatory conduction theory. This saltatory conduction theory has been proposed to explain how the nerve impulse is propagated in myelinated neurons. So we have already discussed about this structure of myelinated neurons. So the axon of these neurons will be having many myelin sheets around them. Myelin sheets are actually, they are Schwann cells. Each Schwann cell will surround the axon in many layers. So that's why they are forming a protective covering on the outside of this axon. So, and we also know that here and there in between these myelin sheets, the axon is naked and it is open. So the open places of axon are called as nodes of Ranvier. So these Ranvier nodes are open, and this is the structure of this myelinated neuron. So till this axon hillock region, how this threshold limit is reaches, and once the threshold limit is crossed, the action potential will be generated in this axon hillock region. Up to this region, it is similar to this previous non-myelinated cell. So, but from this region onwards, how this nerve impulse is propagated throughout this length of myelinated neuron, it is somewhat different in these myelinated neurons. So we have seen in this previous non-myelinated neuron that as the non-myelinated neurons are not having any myelin sheaths around them. So throughout the length of this axon, many sodium channels, many potassium channels, sodium and potassium voltage gated channels are present throughout the length of this axon in this non-myelinated neurons. But whereas in the case of these myelinated neurons, what is happening? Most of the axon outside is covered by this myelin sheaths, and myelin sheaths are forming many layers around this axon, so that in the region which is hidden by this myelin sheath, there will be no sodium channels and no potassium channels. No sodium voltage gated channels will be there. No potassium voltage gated channels will be there beneath these myelin sheets. So the regions which are open, they are nodes of Ranvier. So these nodes of Ranvier regions only. So in this section, we can see that the nodes of Ranvier only, they will be having these voltage gated sodium channels and voltage gated potassium channels. So what is happening here at this axon hillock region, due to this propagated potentials, graded potentials, all the graded potentials will be summed up in this in this axon hillock region. So from this region, very minute potentials will be generated. All these minute potentials, they will generate graded potentials. So all these graded potentials, once they reach this axon hillock region, in this axon hillock region, all the graded potentials will be summed up, and the potential will be increased. So the increased potential, when it crosses the threshold limit, automatically the region in this axon hillock region, sodium gates will be opened, and the sodium gates, they will allow the sodiums to enter inside this cell. So all the sodiums enter into this axon hillock region, and action potential will be generated in this axon hillock region. But immediately after axon hillock region, what is there? Myelin sheath is there. So as the myelin sheath is not having any sodium channels, what is happening? After the myelin sheath, the first Ranvier node is having the sodium channels. So immediately from this axon hillock region, all the sodium ions which have entered into this axoplasm, they will be attracted to this first Ranvier node. So all the sodium ions, here you can see, all the sodium ions, they are present in this axon hillock region. As after this axon hillock region, this region is covered by this myelin sheath, and the myelin sheath is not having any ion voltage gated channel, so that all the sodium ions automatically, they will be jumped to this region. They will be attracted towards this region. So that what is happening, all the sodiums, they will automatically, they will jump. So saltatory means, saltation means nothing but jumping. So all the sodium ions which entered into this axon hillock region, due to this electrical attraction forces, all the sodium ions will be automatically jump to this first Ranvier node. And the sodium ions which are present on the first Ranvier node, they will be attracted towards this axon hillock regions outside. So in this way, the negative of this first Ranvier node becomes positive of first Ranvier node becomes negative, and negative of this inside of this first Ranvier node becomes positive. So it is like this only. The sodium ions from this first node to second node, they will jump in the same way. So the action potential or nerve impulse will be propagated in this myelinated neurons in a jumping manner. So in a jumping manner, the nerve impulse will be jumped to first node, from first node to second node to third node. So in this way, the conduction of nerve impulse will be like jumping. So that's why this is called as saltatory conduction. And saltatory conduction is very, very good. And due to this reason only, most of the all vertebrates will be having myelinated neurons. All the vertebrates have been developed in their bodies myelinated neurons. Why? Because this saltatory conduction, result in the they will result in the fast transmission or fast conduction of nerve impulsion. So there will be no any delay. So fastly the nerve impulse will be propagated to the next neurons or neighboring neurons. So this is about saltatory conduction theory, and this theory has been proposed to explain the nerve impulse in myelinated neurons. And coming to the speed of conduction. So speed of conduction is not the same in all the neurons. And this speed of conduction is dependent on two factors. The first factor is diameter of the axon. Second factor is the myelination. So diameter of the axon will be varying in different neurons. All the neurons will not be having the same diameter. Some axons will be having thicker, some neurons will be having a thicker axons, and some neurons will be having very thin axons. If the axon is thick, it is having very less diameter, very less diameter will be there in this thin axons. In thicker axons, diameter will be high diameter or more diameter or higher bigger diameters will be there in this thicker axon. So the greater the diameter, the faster the conduction. Why? Because what is the reason behind this? Why if the diameter is greater, why the conduction is fast in such axons? So to know this thing, we have to know one thing, that is that resistance of axoplasm. So in this conduction of nerve impulse, what is happening actually? Sodium ions are attracted to this neighboring area. So the travel or the conduction or the travel or journey of the sodium ions will be resisted by the axoplasm. So if the more axoplasm is there, resistance will be lesser. If the less axoplasm is there, resistance would be more. So that greater the diameter, it is resulting in the less resistance by this axoplasm. So that's why in thicker neurons, in thicker axons, as the more axoplasm is there, resistance is very less, so that this less resistance is helping in fast conduction of this nerve impulse to this neighboring areas. So this is the reason behind why in bigger diameter neurons, the nerve conduction is faster. So, and coming to this invertebrate axons, most of the invertebrate axons are very thin in thickness. In such invertebrate axons, the speed of this nerve impulse is around 22 to 30 meters per second. And in some narrow axons in these invertebrate animals, their diameter will be around 0.1 millimeter. in such very narrow axons, the speed of this nerve conduction is very less, several centimeters only per second. So they travel at a speed of several centimeters per second. And in some invertebrates like some annelids, some arthropods, and some molluscans, in some of these groups, they will be having some giant axons. So only few giant axons will be there in some of these groups, in some of the animals of these groups. So in those giant axons, these giant axons are having very thicker axons in them. So and their diameter is around 1 millimeter. So in these giant axons, the nerve impulse will be traveled at 100 meters per second. So this is the maximum speed of nerve impulse in invertebrates, in these annelids, some annelids, arthropods, and molluscas, which are having giant axons. So these giant axons are helping these annelids, arthropods, and molluscans to propagate the nerve impulses very rapidly. And that's why such arthropods, annelids, and molluscans are able to respond very quickly to the surrounding stimuli. And coming to the second factor that affects the speed of conduction, the second factor is myelination, whether the neuron is having myelin or not. As we have already discussed, the neurons which are not having myelin, the speed of conduction is very slow in such non-myelinated neurons, whereas the neurons which are having myelin, in them the nerve impulse will be traveled in a rapid manner. Why? Because as this myelin sheath is helping them to in saltatory conduction, so myelinated neurons are able to conduct the impulses speedily or rapidly. And usually the speed of conduction in myelinated neurons is around 120 meters per second. And it is very interesting to know that mostly giant axons diameter is around 1 millimeter. And in this in giant axons, we have already seen that in giant axons, the nerve impulse will be propagated at 100 meters per second. But in myelinated neurons, you remember that giant axons are non-myelinated neurons. They are not having myelin sheath on the outside of them. So a non-myelinated giant axon of 1 millimeter diameter is able to conduct the nerve impulse at a speed of 100 meters per second. Whereas the very thinner axon, myelinated axon, it is having around 20 micrometers. 20 micrometers means it is very thinner than this 1 millimeter diameter giant axon. So in a myelinated axon, which is having a very thin diameter of 20 microns, in such myelinated axon also, the nerve impulse will travel at a speed of 100 meters or 120 meters per second. And what is the interesting thing in this myelinated axons is that in the space of a single non-myelinated giant axon, 2000 myelinated axons can be accommodated. So each non-myelinated axon is allowing the nerve impulse to propagate at the speed of a single giant myelinated axon. But in the place of a single myelinated axon, the vertebrates can have 2000 myelinated axons. That means in the place of a non-myelinated giant axon, 2000 myelinated axons are being accommodated in vertebrates' bodies. And each single myelinated axon is equal to a single non-myelinated giant axon. So in this way, we can say that in the place of a single non-myelinated giant axon, we are having 2000 non-myelinated axons. So in this way, as we are having these myelinated axons and they are very quick in transferring or conducting the nerve impulses, we are getting a lot of benefits due to this high speeds of conduction rates in our myelinated neurons. So that's why all the vertebrates have been developed myelinated neurons in their bodies. Why? Because as they grew big in size and as they are about to respond to this various stimuli in their surroundings, they need to propagate their nerve impulses rapidly. So that's why they have developed these myelinated axons in the nervous system. Whereas these bigger or highly developed invertebrates, in such organs, in such organisms, they have developed giant axons. These giant axons, even though they are occupying bigger spaces than these myelinated axons, but in practice, they are almost equal to the myelinated axons in terms of conducting or in terms of sending the nerve impulses speedily. So this is about conduction of nerve impulse. With this, today's topic is over. We will meet with another topic in next class.